Welcome back. All right, 6 games today in the National Hockey League. They are all done, so another full weekend of hockey action is finished. We also have 6 games tomorrow. So this coming week is pretty balanced with the schedule, comparatively speaking to others, so should be entertaining and a little bit easier to follow than some of these 14-game nights and whatnot. But let's go ahead and jump in. We'll start off with the craziest game of the day. And it's not close because there's a lot of shutouts that are in the rest of the games. This is the craziest game of the day. It was Toronto at one end, Pittsburgh at the other. Woll against Bloomquist in this one, and both goalies finished this game, which mildly surprising when you look at the score. So, Bloomquist saves the first shot on net to Cheers, because I think it was 3 games in a row that Pittsburgh had allowed a goal on their first shot. So, yeah, you cheer the goalie when he makes that first save. But at 2:15... didn't take very long. Domi buries a rebound for his first goal in 27 games. The assists to McMahon and Robertson. The Penguins look to respond. Shots are 4-2 Toronto at 3 minutes. At 4:39, Timmins roofs one far corner from a sharp angle. So Domi and Timmins have gone without goals in a while, so they get off the schneid there. Holmberg and Nylander with the assists on the Timmins goal. The Leafs look for another. In fact, shots are 12-2 for Toronto at 8 minutes. And then I don't know what happened. It just switched. So we get a press by the Penguins at 9.5 minutes. And at 10:27, Glass, with a one-timer pass to screen, he scores from Shea and Lizotte. So it's 2-1. Penguins look to tie it. Pretty amazing game. And at 11:29, Raquel. On a bounce off the boards, it goes right to Raquel. He puts it in the net. Wall overplayed it the other way. Grzelcyk and Crosby with the assists. So at 11:29... Sidney Crosby ties Gordie Howe on the assist list for 10th place. And then the Penguins look for the lead. We get a power play for Pittsburgh, and it's Crosby wiring one short side. The assist to Carlson and Rust at 13:51, so it's 3-2 for Pittsburgh at that point. Penguins go back to the power play. That's killed off. The Leafs press to close out the period. 3-2 Pittsburgh after 1. Second period, Nylander has a rush chance that's saved, and then at 4:08, Matthews snaps one 5-hole from the doorstep. Nyes and Marner with the assists, so that ties the game at 3. Tomasino has a wraparound that hits the post. Malkin has a rebound that's held as the Penguins get some pressure. The Leafs press at 6.5 minutes. The shots are 6-4 Toronto at 7 minutes. We get a power play for the Leafs. That's killed off. 1 shot on net. Penguins press with 8.5 minutes left, and at 15:38, it is Rust scoring to give the Penguins back the lead. Crosby and Carlson with the assists. So that is assist number 1,050 for Crosby, and that officially puts him alone in 10th place. Gordie Howe's not top 10 in assists. I'm old enough to remember when he was number 1. I may need to have a moment here. Anyways, so on that goal, Rust goes around Woll and in. Then at 19:04, Tavares scores from McCabe on a fast break. And then, Nyes. This is why you don't give up on the play before the horn. With less than 0.1 second left on the board, Nyes buries one on a breakaway at 19:59. And so it is a 5-4 lead for Toronto after 2. The lead does not last long into the third period. 10 seconds in, Raquel buries one on a net drive from Letang and Shea. We officially have an 80s game with 10 goals in it. I do believe I heard Gord Miller say it felt like returning to the 80s with this one. Robertson then hits the outside of the post. The shots are 2 apiece at 4 minutes. The Leafs press at 4.5 minutes. We get a post for Erik Karlsson on a rush. Dueling chants in the second half. Yeah, there were some Leafs fans in the crowd, so you could hear "Go Leafs Go" and "Let's Go Pens." Tavares is denied on a fast break. Myers has a screenshot that's held. The Leafs press with 5.5 minutes left. The Penguins press with 2 minutes left. But we're going to overtime. In the overtime, Riley fires one high. And then at exactly 1 minute on a wrister from the slot, Nylander ends the game. Riley with the assist. So it is a 6-5 overtime win for Toronto. They go to 38-20-2 with the win. With the overtime loss, Pittsburgh 24-29-10. Shots on net, 17-13 Pittsburgh in the first, 11 apiece in the second, 8-6 Toronto in the third. Toronto had the only shot of the overtime. It's all they needed. Final shots, 34-33 for Pittsburgh. Power plays, Toronto 0 for 1, Pittsburgh 1 for 2. The hits, 23-13 for Toronto. Woll saves 29 out of 34. Bloomquist saved 27 out of 33. But a very entertaining game. Absolutely very entertaining game. All right, next up, Boston and Minnesota. I went from this to this. this was not a very, very, very entertaining game. So Swayman versus Gustafson here. 3 minutes in, Boston had the only shot on net. It was good flow, back and forth. In fact, the first whistle is at 7:35. So they had a bus to catch or a plane to catch. Bruins press at 8.5 minutes. We get a fight between Kastelik and Foligno. Faber has a shot that's saved as the Wild press. More pressure by the Wild with 9 minutes left. The Bruins press with 7.5 minutes left. Shots are 7-5 for Boston with 4.5 minutes left. There was one shot for Boston the rest of the way. Minnesota didn't have any. Not a whole lot to report. It's scoreless after one. Second period, Zadorov flattens Boldy. Boldy's okay, but pretty big hit there by Zadorov. Shots are 2-0 Boston at 3 minutes. Shore has a wrister that's held. The Wild would press, and they score. At 5:01, Goudreau. He tips one in. Johansson and Zuccarello with the assist, so that was a screenshot, and it's deflected in. 1-0 Minnesota. The Wild look for another. We get a power play for Boston. That's killed off. The teams trade rushes. The Wild press at 9 minutes. We get a power play for Minnesota. That becomes 10 seconds of 5-on-3. Everything's killed off there. Shots are 9-7 for Minnesota with 5 minutes left. The Wild press with 2.5 minutes left. Hinnes tries a buzzer beater of his own. That is held. So it's 1-0 Minnesota after 2. Third period, Pastrnak has a rush chance that's saved. The Bruins press at 3.5 minutes. The shots are 4-2 Boston at 4 minutes. We get a power play for Boston. Zacha's denied on a rush during that. Minnesota kills that off. Bruins press after it's done. Good forechecking by Boston. The Wild then press at the half. Pretty fast game throughout. Not a lot of whistles through large swaths of this game, including, of course, at the start. Peak has a shot that's held as the Bruins get some pressure. Pastrnak has a net drive that's blocked. Boldy then fires one high on a rush. Goalie pull happens with 1:45 left. Lowry has a screenshot that's held. Minnesota wins this one 1-0. So the Tony the Tiger Magnet's on the board for the shutout. The chess piece is on the board. The chess magnet's on the board because there were 3 or less goals in the game. A 1-0 win for Minnesota. They go to 35-22-4. They needed this one. Boston drops to 28-26-8 with the loss. Shots on net, 8-5 Boston in the first, 11-7 Minnesota in the second, 13-6 Boston in the third. The Bruins outshoot the Wild 28-22. Power plays, both teams go 0 for 2. The hits, 27-22 for Boston. Swayman saves 21 out of 22, and Gustafson saves all 28 shots for his 10th career shutout. All right, let's get to the other shutouts, shall we? All right, so one game that didn't feature a shutout, but I thought it was going to for a while. We have Calgary and Carolina. So that's Wolf versus Kochetkov, early power play for Carolina. That leads to a shorthanded 2-on-1 for the Flames that gets broken up. That power play is killed off. Kadri has a shot that's blocked. The Canes rush. Shots are 3-0 Carolina at 3.5 minutes. The Flames press. They're kept to the outside. Canes press at 7.5 minutes. Hall has a chance that's held there. Shots are up to 6-0 for Carolina at 9.5 minutes. Really, they leaned on Wolf heavily in this one. Stop me if you've heard this one before. The Canes go back to the power play. That's killed off. The Flames get a power play of their own after that. That's killed off as well. Canes press with 4 minutes left. Burns has a slapper that's held. The first shot for Calgary, the only shot for Calgary in the first period, was with roughly 2.5 minutes left in the period. So it's scoreless after one because Wolf was fantastic. Second period, teams exchange early rushes, and something had to have been said to Calgary in between periods because they were leading in shots 5-1, 4.5 minutes in. Farabee's denied on a breakaway. The teams trade turnovers. We get a power play for Calgary. Coronado's denied in close. Kochetkov holds. That power play is killed off. Aho's denied in close. Wolf holds there. Farabee to Coleman gets picked off. Shots are 8-2 Calgary with 7 minutes left. So the scoring chances really dropped off after that fast start for Calgary in the first 5 minutes. So the Canes press with 6.5 minutes left. We get a power play for Carolina. Rantanen has a chance that's caught and held. That power play is killed off. The Canes press after it ends. The teams trade turnovers. Pretty tight game until at 19:26. On a cross-ice pass and in on a rush, Slavin scores from Blake. Now, Nazem Kadri felt that there should have been a penalty called on the play that led to this rush goal. And he argued enough, or he said something that caused the referee to say, okay, you're going to the box. So he goes to the box after that goal is scored. So that power play rolls over into the third period with Carolina ahead 1-0. The Flames do finish the kill. One shot on the power play for Carolina there. Coronado with a near miss in close. Hall's denied on a rush. The shots are 2-1 Carolina at 3.5 minutes. We get a power play for Calgary. That becomes 43 seconds of 5-on-3. Now, just after the 5-on-3 ends, Calgary scores. So it's a power play marker for Kadri from Huberdeau and Weegar at 7:06. So that ties the game at 1. Canes press to respond. Jost has a wraparound chance that's held. There's a press by Carolina at the half. Shots are 7-6 for the Canes with 9 minutes left. Kadri has a rush chance that's held. We had a fight between Hanley and Svechnikov. I'm going to go out and say Hanley won that one. But we get a 4-minute power play for the Canes coming out of that. The fans then try calling a 5-on-3 penalty twice. They tell the ref that he sucks. And then they tried to call a third one, so the referee really sucks on that one. There were 3 penalties that the fans called. Meanwhile, the Flames penalty kill killed off the entire 4-minute power play. Ball then took a puck right off the top of his helmet. He has been injured with that earlier this season. Hopefully he's okay, but he did exit. We go to overtime. Canes control early. The Canes score after the whistle, so that didn't count, so the ref sucks again. Kochetkov breaks up a 2-on-1. Wolf robs Gostisbehere on a rush. And then at 3:16, it's Aho roofing one far corner. Slavin and Blake with the assists. And so Carolina wins this one 2-1 in overtime. Another chess magnet on the board for a low-scoring game. 35-22-4 record for Carolina. With the overtime loss, Calgary 28-23-9, but they catch Vancouver for that final playoff spot in the West. Shots on net, 12-1 Carolina in the first, 8-7 Calgary in the second, 10-7 Carolina in the third. Carolina had all 4 shots in the overtime. Final shots, 33-16 for Carolina. They, of course, had the shot that mattered in the overtime. Power plays, Calgary 1 for 4, Carolina 0 for 6. Hits, 25-12 for Calgary. Wolf, 31 saves on 33 shots. Kochetkov, 15 saves on 16 shots. So, I mean, Carolina had 6 power plays. They just didn't score on them. So, anyways, let's move on. The St. Louis Blues and Dallas Stars, Hofer versus Ottinger, and, watching the TNT feed, I'm reminded that I don't think Eddie Olczyk likes Dallas. It's a feeling I get when he calls a Dallas game. It's one of those, I can't shake it. I was like, he's really rooting for the Blues here. So early power play for Dallas, and at 1:56, Marchment with a wrister from the right circle. He scores from Bourque and Granlund. And I'm saying that knowing that it may be something he's doing that's similar to what I do when I do videos, that maybe he's trying so hard to hide that he's a fan for Dallas. Anyway, that being said, the lead for Dallas is buried on a wrister from the right circle, and it does not last. At 3:22, Bolduc buries one in close to tie it. Sundqvist and Broberg with the assists. Both goalies look kind of shaky early in this one, so you knew that we might see a high score. Shots are 6-2 for the Blues at 6 minutes. Parayko has a slot shot that saved. Dodonov has a net drive chance that's caught and held. Blues press with 7.5 minutes left, but at 13:28, Duchesne gets Dallas the lead back at 2-1 on a tic-tac-toe play. He roofs it. Marchment and Ceci with the assists. 2:37 left, though. The Blues get a power play, and they score on it. At 18:34, it's Holloway firing one past a screen. Braden Shen with the helper there. With 46.1 seconds left, we get a power play for Dallas, which was lethal tonight. With 0.1 second left, so it's another case of play to the whistle, play to the horn. Johnston scores to give Dallas the lead back. Hintz and Harley with the assists at 19:59. It's 3-2 Dallas after 1. Second period, Jordan Binnington's in net now. He is welcome to the net on a cross-crease pass and buried by Rope Hintz at 1:06. Robertson and Stankoven with the assist, so suddenly it's 4-2 in favor of Dallas. Things then get pushed in a hole by Ottinger. The Blues press are kept to the outside, or Stars press, they're kept to the outside. Then the Blues press at 4 minutes. In fact, the shots are 5-3, St. Louis at 5.5 minutes. More pressure by the Blues at 7 minutes. Eventually, they score one. At 8:02, it's Walker batting one out of the air. From in close, Toropchenko and Thomas with the assists. Cuts Dallas's lead to 4-3. We get a power play for the Blues. That's killed off 2 shots, but they were building momentum. It felt like it was only a matter of time before they caught Dallas and passed them. Walker's denied on a break after that power play's done. Joseph then has a net feed that's picked off. The Stars press with 4 minutes left, but with 2:03 left, it's a power play for St. Louis. Dallas kills that off. They can't keep taking penalties late in periods. So it's 4-3 Dallas after 2. Third period, early jump for the Blues. The shots are 1 apiece 3 minutes in. Steele has a net feed that's blocked. The Stars press at 6 minutes. The fans call one. The referee does not. There's a post for Fowler as the Blues get some pressure. Then we get a power play for Dallas. St. Louis needs to stay out of the box against Dallas. Another tic-tac-toe play. Johnston scores from Hintz and Duchesne at 9:14. Stars then go back to the power play, and it's Wyatt Johnston again. And the Hats rain down on the ice. Johnston from Hintz and Harley at 11 minutes and 11 seconds. This is the first time in Dallas history that they've gone 4 for 4 on the power play. Never happened. I just saw that just before firing up this video, so just thought I'd mention it. Makes it 6-3. So the goalie pull happens with almost 6 minutes left. St. Louis doesn't really get a lot of opportunities there, and in the end, St. Louis loses 6-3 in Dallas. Dallas goes to 39-19-2 with the win. With the loss, St. Louis 29-27-6. Shots on net favored St. Louis the whole way through. 14-9 in the first, 19-7 in the second, set 9-5 in the third. Final shots 42-21 for St. Louis. Power plays, St. Louis 1 for 3. Dallas scored on all 4 opportunities, as I previously mentioned. Hits 20-11 for St. Louis. Hofer saved 6 out of 9. Bennington saved 9 out of 12. Ottinger saved 39 out of 42. Ottinger kind of saved Dallas in this one just a little bit. I didn't think Dallas had their A game, and Otter was bringing that A game. So greatly appreciated, I would think, by Dallas fans. Let me know your thoughts. All right, next up, Nashville and the Rangers. So it's Annunen versus Quick. I believe this was game number 800 for Jonathan Quick. What a way to celebrate. Early power play for the Rangers. That's killed off. Shots things get pushy on a hold by Annunen. The shots are 6-1 for New York 6 minutes in. The Rangers were very focused coming into this game. We had a fight between Englund and Rempe after Rempe threw a hit. He did have an elbow out. Yes, I think it was on Blankenberg. Blankenberg's a short player. Rempe's a taller player. It happens. From a shorter guy, it happens. The tall guys are all arms and legs, and it happens. There's a press by Nashville at 7 minutes. The teams trade turnovers, and at 8:32, Panarin rifles one. He had the zone to himself. Like, there was nobody anywhere near him. So he rifles it. Lafreniere and DeHaan with the assist. So DeHaan with a point in his first game with the Rangers. We get a power play for the Rangers after that. That's killed off as well. Shots are 10-3 for New York with 6.5 minutes left. Nashville presses with 4.5 minutes left, but it's 1-0 Rangers after 1. Second period, early New York power play. There's a near miss by Zibanejad, and then on a cross-ice pass, JT Miller scores at 1:02 from Panarin and Zibanejad to make it 2-0 for the Rangers. Novak to Sissons, there's a near miss there, and then at 3:25, Keandre Miller buries a short side chance on the rush. JT Miller and Zibanejad with the assist. So Mika with a couple helpers tonight. JT with a goal and an assist. And Keandre Miller with a nice goal too. It's 3-0 for the Rangers. Rangers press for another. Shots are 5-2 New York at 6.5 minutes. We get a power play for Nashville. Things get pushy on a hold by Jonathan Quick. That power play ends up being killed off. There's a delayed game call, gives the Rangers a power play. That was killed off. No shots on net there. Press by Nashville ends up going offside. And I put that on the board because I thought that really showed how well their night was going. Nashville was just, they were having some issues. And when you're pressing and you end up just going offside during a press, it's not great. So, Brodzinski with a near miss on a 2-on-1 rush. There's a press by Nashville in the final minute. It's 3-0 for the Rangers after 2. Third period. Early press by Nashville. The Rangers press back 3 minutes in. We get a power play for the Preds. O'Reilly's denied. We end up with 42 seconds of 4-on-4. Zibanejad has a tip shot that's held up. Everything's killed off there. Fans call one. The referee does not. So that was the thing across a lot of games tonight. The Rangers press at 9 minutes. Shots are 6-5 Preds at the half. Rangers have a 2-on-1 that misfires. Things get pushy on a hold by Quick. Preds are making Quick earn the shutout. Ooh, THG wrote the word shutout on the board before the game was done because I had no doubt Nashville cannot score on the road when they're down late because I've watched enough Nashville goals to know you just can't jinx the other team. You just can't. Then at 16:57, Berard wires one from the slot. He just got called up. He got a goal. Carrick with the assist makes it 4-0. Nashville does pressure to close it out. They don't score. And so the final score in this one, 4-0. The Tony the Tiger Magnet on the board again. The Rangers 30-26-4 with the victory. They pull themselves within 2 points of a playoff spot. Nashville 21-32-7. They stay just a tidy, I think it's 16 points behind a playoff spot. Shots on net, 15-6 Rangers in the first, 13-9 Rangers in the second, 20-6 Nashville in the third. Like I said, they made them earn the shutout. Final shots are actually 35-34 for the Rangers, which does not indicate this game's play at all. Power plays, Nashville 0 for 2, Rangers 1 for 5. The hits, 31-18 for the Rangers. Annunen, 30 saves on 34 shots. Quick, 35 saves for his 63rd career shutout. He's going to the Hall of Fame, and he's trying to drag the Rangers into the playoffs for one last playoff run this year, and we'll see if that does happen. All right, last game of the night. New Jersey in against the Vegas Golden Knights. It was Markstrom making his return. He looked very good. Adin Hill at the other end. He's rounding into form as well. And it's welcome back Cotter. I was very glad to see that both Vegas and New Jersey knew the whole welcome back Cotter thing. And if you're too young to know, well, then according to my demographics report, it's about right. But at any rate, yeah, near miss for Hurdle from the doorstep as this game gets started. Mercer has a net drive chance that's defended. Vegas presses at 3 minutes. The shots are 2-1 Vegas at 4.5 minutes. Devils press are kept to the outside. Then there's some pressure by Vegas at 8.5 minutes. Tatar has a rush chance that's caught and held. White Cloud has a screenshot that's kicked aside. The teams trade turnovers. Hanifin has a wrister that's held. It's 0-0 after 1. Second period. Early press by Vegas. McNabb has a shot that's blocked. The Devils clear. More pressure by Vegas at 3.5 minutes. Meyer has a rush chance that's held. In fact, the shots are 4-3 for the Devils 5.5 minutes in. Press by New Jersey at 6.5 minutes. Jack Hughes to Bratt. There's a near miss there in the Vegas zone. Pietrangelo then misses an open net. This could have been an early lead for Vegas there. At least earlier than where we saw a goal scored in this one. Palat has a net drive chance that hits the outside of the net. Jack Hughes is denied on a turnover opportunity. And then Cotter has a 2-on-1 chance on the rush. That's held. You know Cotter wants to score against his former team. Teams trade rushes. Neither team giving much of a path to the net at this point. Howden has a backhander. That's held. Late momentum for Vegas. Stone to Eichel is blocked by Markstrom. Markstrom with a nice stick check there to make sure that puck doesn't get there. It is still 0-0 after 2. Third period. Early delay for an ice issue, and that these things do happen, but I figured I'll write that up there. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer than others. Then there's a post for Eichel on a rush, but that rush ends up drawing a power play for Vegas, and they score on it very early. At 1:27, Stone with the tip in front, Hanifin and Eichel with the assists, and then Vegas looks for another. They have the momentum. There's a post for Pearson on a breakaway. The shots are 2 apiece at 6.5 minutes, which didn't really tell you that Vegas was in control at this point. Too many Devils on the ice. Vegas goes to the power play. Eichel has a one-timer that's held. And then on the face-off that followed that, at 9 minutes and 10 seconds, Hanifin with a point shot past the screen. Eichel with the helper. It's 2-0 for Vegas. The power play looked pretty darn good tonight. Devils press with 8 minutes left. Saad has a rush chance that's saved. We then get a power play for the Devils. That's killed off. As towards the end of that power play, there was a delayed call against New Jersey. Vegas was very smart there. They held the puck until they were ready to go on to the power play, till their penalty was over. So with exactly 3 minutes left, the Devils get the puck, and so you end up with a power play for Vegas. Now the scary incident takes place. Keefe gets tossed out of the game for wanting a call and being very vocal about it. Jack Hughes with a scary play. He crashes into the boards. He got tangled up with Eichel. I didn't see anything sinister with that play. Eichel could easily have been the one that crashed into the boards. Eichel tried to help Hughes out. Hughes did skate off under his own power, but it didn't look great. So hopefully Jack Hughes is okay. I understand Keefe being upset. But yeah, they threw Keefe out of the game for that. And it meant that now it was 49 seconds of a 5-on-3. I really didn't get the feeling that Vegas was trying that hard to score there. I think it was just a matter of, okay, let's just get this game done. And they do. They win this one 2-0. They go to 36-18-6 with the win. I believe they said this is the second best record they've had through 60 games. New Jersey 33-23-6 with the loss. But of course, the more concerning thing than the loss is Jack Hughes and his status. So we'll probably be talking about that tomorrow on the channel. Shots on net, 8-7 New Jersey in the first, 8 apiece in the second, 9 apiece in the third. New Jersey played a good road game. They didn't allow anything 5-on-5. Final shots 25-24 for New Jersey. The Devils go 0 for 1. Vegas 2 for 4. And that's what did them in, was the penalty kill. Hits 23-20 for New Jersey. Markstrom saves 22 out of 24. Looked good in his return. He was coming out, handling the puck behind his net well. And Hill saves all 25 shots for the 10th shutout of his career. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section below regarding tonight's games. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.